Isaac Bauer was a Jew born in Poland. I, Fräulein Strauss, lived in Austria. He was a pianist, I was a violinist. Our music brought us together. In March of 1938, Isaac Bauer left my house in Vienna to rehearse the Emperor Concerto with the Vienna Philharmonic Orchestra. There was to be a concert at the Vienna Concert Hall, and Isaac Bauer was a celebrated pianist. Nothing strange. Only the day was strange. It was March 11th, 1938. As he walked into the concert hall, he was met by the janitor. "Johann, where is the orchestra? Am I too early?" "The orchestra went home, Herr Bauer." "But we're supposed to rehearse for the concert." "The orchestra went home, Herr Bauer." "But we have to prepare for our concert." "No concert, Herr Bauer. We're closing the concert hall. Take my advice and go home." "Johann, what does this mean?" "It means the Nazis are here, Herr Bauer. Go home. Go home as fast as you can." I waited for him. And I knew the meaning of the verse from the psalm. I waited for him. Tell me, have you ever waited? Have you ever sat in a darkened city, waiting for a familiar step, for the clasp of a familiar hand? Not a large hand, a hand with slender fingers, fragile fingers that make a sound of music. I waited through the night, and I knew the meaning of the verse from the psalm. "Oh Lord, out of the depths I cried to thee." And I prayed harder than I had ever prayed before. And the Lord heard and answered. 3 days later, the Nazis released him. A taxi pulled up to the curb, and I ran out to greet him. The driver asked, "Fräulein Strauss?" "Yes, have you?" "In the car." He's in there?" "All yours, Fräulein Strauss." "There's been some mistake." "No mistake, Fräulein Strauss. Here's his passport." "That can't be Isaac Bauer." "Fräulein, I haven't got all day. If you want your friend, well, you'll have to take him the way he is." His eyes were swollen shut. His hands, they were not hands anymore. They walked across my hands. They beat me with their clubs. They put out their cigarettes against me. But they walked across my hands, back and forth. Back and forth. "Edith, please speak to me. Edith, I can't see you. I can't open my eyes. I can't feel with my fingers. My hands are broken. I'm never going to play again." We could no longer stay in Vienna, so we went to Budapest. And in Budapest, there were bone specialists. At last, the doctor said it. "Herr Bauer, it's no use. I am going to play again. Herr Bauer, you must face it. It's no use. Be thankful that you have regained vision in one eye. Your hands? I do not think so." "Doctor, I don't know how to say it, but I've got to play again. If I don't play again, then they've killed me. We must not allow that, doctor." "Herr Bauer, can you bend your fingers?" "Not today, but there's tomorrow." "Not tomorrow, Herr Bauer." "Doctor, we must fight back. God gave me music. Music is the only thing I have." "Doctor, will massage help?" "Perhaps. In any case, it will no harm." "I'll do that then. I'll massage him all the day. I'll massage him till..." "What's the use, Fräulein? You'll waste your time and deceive each other with false hope. Some things are broken and are mended. Some things are broken and cannot be mended. I'm sorry. If you'll excuse me, I must go now. Goodbye, doctor. I'll get you some tea. No, Edith. I'll get you a book then. I'll read to you. I don't want to be read to. I want to pray. We prayed. And our prayer was that God would heal Isaac Belair's hands. And that in healing them, his son, Jesus Christ, might be glorified. After our prayer, he asked, Edith, come here. I want you to massage my hands. I want you to start now. One day, soon after we were married, I came home. I put the key in the lock, and I turned the key. But I did not open the door, because there was a sound. It was a sound of music. It was Isaac Belair's heart. His fingers were like childish, clumsy hammers. But he was at the keyboard, and there was a look in his eyes. Edith, yes, you heard? I heard. I can do it. There's sweat on your face. Did you hear me? I'm doing it. On your forehead. It's all wet here. I said you'd see, you'd hear. Yes. Say you're glad, darling. Say you're glad. I'm glad, darling. I'm glad, darling. Some things are broken and cannot be mended. Some things are broken, and while the bone is fragile and the flesh bruises, the Spirit of God is strong. The Spirit stretching the bruised fingers, hands and fingers pressing a wooden board, clenching, unclenching, gaining strength, days and weeks and months, and sweat on a man's face, and a prayer in his heart, and a sound of music again. Each man must render his own testimony, in his own time, in his own fashion, to the power of God. Perhaps you received a letter this year from your husband, your son, or your brother. Perhaps they wrote to you that standing before the barracks, or in the crowded hospital wards. A violinist gave a concert, and perhaps they noticed the hands of her accompanist. There was nothing extraordinary about those hands. Merely the 10 fingers of an American citizen called Isaac Belair. But this was his affirmation in his own time, in his own fashion, that the Lord preserve all them that love him. He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He will also hear their cry and will save them. I would say more if I could, but when you stand on American ground, somewhere under the American sun, with the presence of God in your heart, the words fill your heart, they choke your throat, and you do not speak. How was that?